Alright, Matt for Pace Guitar Repair one more time. We've got, I know we hinted about it in another video, but we've got Joey Trevino's Les Paul that he said he was going to be bringing in to have the treatment. And we're gonna get this thing all set up. And so right off the bat, Ron has noticed some of the pickup heights are not where they should be. And I do want to mention that this guitar does not have the same issue that his other guitar had with the sag and the bridge. This bridge is actually okay. All right, we're just doing some checking here on the neck. See how straight she is, or how not straight she is. All right, a little more tweaking here, you guys. I spared you the good part. A lot of people assume that you want your neck to be straight as an arrow, and that's not always the case. It's very important to have the right amount of bow in the neck, depending on what you're tuning to. And this guitar is going to be set up to tune for E and E flat, so that'd be standard tuning and a half step down. And you really got to know what you're doing. So now we're just checking some string height. Make sure everything is right where it needs to be. All right, it's time for a restring, and then we'll get into some of those points that I was talking about in the setup video, where we address some of the tightenings of things and all that kind of stuff. All right, so this is one of those things that they do here that's involved in the complete setup that you do not get in your standard basic setup, and that is they clean the body for you, as well as polish your frets and oil your fretboard. And then later on we'll get into tightening the tuning machines. One thing that Ron mentioned to me was that the reason that you have to kind of oil your fretboard and polish your frets is kind of the same reason that you brush your teeth. The oil and the sweat from your hands gets on your fretboard, and it gets on the frets, and just like plaque eats your teeth, your sweat and the oil from your body can actually deteriorate the metal in the fretboard, and can also dry your fretboard out to the point to where you may need a new fretboard at some point. Yeah, if you look, and you can see it. It's kind of it's in focus here. You can see all the sweat on this guitar. And later on, we'll show you what that looks like when it's properly cleaned. All right, so as you can see, we're addressing that area, and wow, dude, look at the gleam on that. It's beautiful. All right, so like I mentioned before, part of the complete setup. This is not something you're going to get with your $40 basic setup. It's just kind of polishing the frets. You can already see from the beginning of the video they already look a lot better. Now we just got to go ahead and just buff that out. You can see them getting a lot shinier. All right, so we're in the next part of that complete setup. This is something, like I said to you before, you do not get with the basic setup. Oil on the fingerboard, and this is a very good thing. All right, so we've let that oil soak in, and now it's just time to remove the excess. Like I said before, this is not something you get in your basic setup. This is like taking your guitar to the spa. This is another thing I mentioned in that setup video. This is not something you get with a basic setup, just making sure these things are nice and tight. Another thing that they'll do here for you in your complete setup is make sure that the tuning machines are actually straight to the headstock, and just as important as it is tightening them down from the front of the headstock, you also want to make sure that these little set screws back here are tight as well. It's always good to make sure your guitar is properly intonated. Alright, so we're just checking some chords here. Make sure the intonation is set properly. Joey's gonna love this guitar when he jams it out tonight. Alright, it's Matt from Pace Guitar Repair, man, and Joey just finished that set.
So much better.
I think we're going to catch him over here talking to Mr. Ron Pace.
The black one I've been playing, since I set it up, ever since. And I remember I was just going I grabbed it, and instantly my first words to Matt, I was like, what did he do to the neck? He's like, it feels so much better.
There you have it, man. Another satisfied customer, Pace Guitar Repair.